Blessings to your family. Welcome to Pastor Jerone TV. I'm your host, Pastor Jerone Davison, and I want to talk to you a little bit more about black seed oil, but this time I want to talk to you about black seed oil from a faith perspective, black seed oil and the tree of life. And yes, the Bible definitely gives us shots and snapshots of times throughout the Bible that God used natural herbs and things to heal and to bring healing. In the book of Genesis, in the beginning, when God planted man in the garden, there were two supernatural trees there. All the other trees were regular trees. God said, from all of the trees you could freely eat. And he also says, from the tree of life, you may freely eat. And but there was another supernatural tree there, and that it was called the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Now, the tree of life was planted by God, because God says, everything that I've created, I've given you. You could freely enjoy it. It's all for you. Here's life. But then when he gets to the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, he gives it another name. He says, the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. God had the tree of life. Satan planted the tree of death, but he packaged it with a different name, and he named it the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Now, a lot of people don't believe in that, and they don't believe that Satan could plant a tree and so on and so forth. I don't have time to debate that. I'm just trying to show you that when God plants something, it will continue. And when you get to Revelation chapter 22, only one of those two supernatural trees are still standing, and it's only the tree of life. Which brings me to this point. Black seed oil is a very powerful herb, and I believe for many, many years, the pharmaceutical people have hid it from us over here in the West, because they're making billions and billions of dollars from the healthcare. You know, you heard of all this big talk in the news about Obamacare, and they're changing it over to American care. It's been this talk because these human bodies get sick, you know, and you know, I like to work out and stay healthy, but no matter how much we stay healthy, death came in when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which God called it the tree of death. But in the book of Revelation, God says that this tree, the supernatural tree of life, it produced 12 types of fruit throughout the year. And that the leaves from that tree were good for the healing of the nations. Now, this is not the tree of life. It's definitely not the tree of life, but I'm just saying that there are times when God will use herbs and different spices and stuff in this world and in this life to help heal our human bodies. And I believe that this black seed oil is one of the major tools to good health. It heals. Now, this thing, and it's not just an aid like our medicine. Our medicine helps us to cope with a disease or cope with a pain. But this black seed oil is a cure for diabetes. It's a cure for high blood pressure. It's a cure for cancer. And I've even read, some places I'm doing research where it's saying that it's healing people with AIDS. And it's a cure. It's a cure for these things. So I'm definitely using it, and I believe that it should be in every household. But the leaves from the tree of life was good for healing. Can you find the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in the book of Revelation? You know why it's not in there? Because God didn't plant it. God never planted the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, because God is not going to plant death. Death cannot come from him. And so he planted a tree of life, and that tree was to give us vitality, strength, energy, goodness, and it brought forth good life. So you'll also find in the book of Kings a wonderful story that Isaiah, 2 Kings chapter 20, where Isaiah the prophet was told to go in and tell King Hezekiah that God is cutting his time off, that now you need to put your house in order. Who's going to be the next king after you? What sons are going to get what inheritance? King Hezekiah turned his face to the wall and began to pray, and God told Isaiah, as he was on his way out of the courtyard, he told him to go back in there and tell King Hezekiah that I'm going to add 15 more years on his life. And God told Isaiah to take some figs and make yourself a fig pack and put it on Hezekiah's skin. No doubt King Hezekiah probably had some type of cancer or skin disease, and the figs healed King Hezekiah. Well, because this stuff has an anti-inflammatory and inflammation, like rheumatoid arthritis and swelling of the knees and the joints, because this thing has a major ingredient in it, thymoquinone, and thymoquinone is in this thing. It's power packed. It is the thing that attacks inflammation. So when you start to purchase these black seed oil, make sure you look for different strengths of thymoquinone. Don't just get a cheap brand. And what you're also going to need too is that you're going to need to get the kind with the brown bottle, because sunlight, this stuff is sensitive to sunlight, and sometimes they're selling some brands cheap on the internet in the see-through bottle. Don't trust that, because once sun hit it, it's damaged the ingredients in the oil. Also, I see people on Facebook, on YouTube, making a tea out of it and heating it up. I wouldn't recommend that you heat it up. It's a cold press oil, and I think it's healthiest when it's just taken as is, and then you can chase it with what you want. But that's what I'm saying. Black seed oil is the cure-all. It's a blessing to you, and I believe God wants us to be healed. He said, "I am the Lord thy God that healeth thee." I'm Pastor Jerone. Check me out. Subscribe, like, be blessed.